Good morning, stampers and crafters. Today we're going to work on a fun fold card. I did case this, and I wish I knew who I cased it from. I tried to follow the links in the photo back to whoever created it, and I didn't find it. But this is not my design. It is cased. But it's so cool. I made 3 of them so far. Here's my first one. It might be a little busy, but it's a book binding diamond easel card. How cute is that? So then I did one here with the little butterfly. And today, and you can put a greeting back here, today we're going to create this one using Pansy Petals. I'm going to change it up a little and do a white card base, see how it turns out. And you have greetings inside, and you also have your greeting in the back. So let's go ahead and build that one. I'll set it here. So we want to start with our card base. Set that aside without wrinkling it. I will include on my blog post a typed up instructions sheet. It's got the supplies you need in the front, and then it's got, yeah, I'm going to get my hands working today, the step-by-step. So I'm going to turn to the step-by-step. And I put a note here that when you get down to making your panels that go with the different mats, to marry them at the same time you make them. If you go through and you cut everything up, you can find that you end up kind of with a bunch of cut up things everywhere, then you're going, oh my, where does that go? So let's just do it step by step. Let's do our card base first. Our card base is 11 by 4 1/4. And now I want to score it at 2 1/8. Oops, got my cutting there. 2 1/8. 4 1/4, and 5 1/2. Now to create the diamond, I'm going to put a little tick mark on this last fold here. See, we have our folds right there. See those? I'm going to put a little tick mark on that one. I just grabbed like a pencil. And I'm going to measure to the middle of that, which is 2 1/8. So if you put your paper here up to your line, make sure you're... So I'm just going to go to 2 1/8, which is about right there. And I'm just put a little tick mark there. All that does is help me line it up to make the diamond. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that so you can see it. You're going to line up that little tick mark with this first fold, okay? Line it up in the groove of your cutter. And then just cut it. See? I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to line up my fold with the groove and my tick mark with the groove, and then I'm going to cut it. And looky there, you already have your card base. I should have my bone fold over here. I don't. I'm still trying to set up where I actually craft, set up a camera system over there, and I just, life keeps getting in the way to get that done. So there, your card base is done. We're going to set that aside. Now we're we're going to start on our mats and our DSP. Pardon me. I have chosen Blushing Bride as my mats, and I chose the Pansy Petals DSP, and this wood grain DSP comes from the Hearth and Home. I just really liked it. And with these little pansies, I liked it because this pansy patch set has dies, coordinating dies. The set is amazing, the whole suite is. But it has coordinating dies, and one of these dies will even cut out the pansies on your DSP, is which I actually did. So I cut out a pink pansy and a purple pansy and set them aside. I took my leaf, cut out a couple of leaves. That's our front image already done. So let's start on our first one, and it's the back greeting panel, okay? Oh, you know what I forgot to bring over is my regular Whisper white paper. Okay, so this one, we need our mat. So our mat is, we're doing the back panel first. The mat is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we got enough here to do 5 3/8. Yeah, okay. So let's do 4 1/8. Now the matting in this card is really thin matting, really kind of accent matting, real thin. It's not the standard 1/4 inch. So we did, what did I just do? 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. 1, 2. Oh, okay, there, already there. Hopefully that one works. Might be a tad shy. So now we need the greeting part of that, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So 4, 5, 5 1/4. Aside. Now you can go ahead and stamp your greeting prior to marrying this. Make sure I cut that right. It looks like my mat got a little small, so I'm going to trim this just a hair. And you can do your greetings after if you want. I got this mat kind of messed up. You know what? This is real life. Trimming it to fit. Okay, so for the greeting on the back of this one, what I did is I took, let me get my stamparatus out of here. Bring in our stamparatus and this amazing stamp. Look at the script on this. It's called More Love. And we're going to go ahead and put that on the back. Some of this video, skip through where you don't need to be. You know, it's going to be one of those type of videos, but I decided I would just literally do the step by step without a lot of fast forwarding. And bring our memento. Kind of a funny thing. I'm going to tell you something. Yesterday, I was doing this video and I got good 20 minutes into it, and I went to do a camera setting. My camera wasn't even recording. Wasn't even recording. Very frustrating. I don't know, maybe that's why people do live. It's probably easier. Grab something to wipe my... But I've been setting up equipment to try to figure out how to do live from my actual workstation, which is on the other side of the room there. Okay, now we're going to marry this one to its back mat. You can use whatever adhesive you'd like. I'm a glue girl. And you will notice on a few of these little tiny pieces we're doing, glue does work better because you can kind of shift it a little. Something on that mat, now I can pick it up. Oops. Okay, we're going to glue this right to the back of our card. And we glue it to the back. Oh, I think this pink and white is going to look really good on this one. Oops, it moved. There we go. Got our back mat in place. Now, let's start working on the rest of it. So we did step one. We don't need to stamp around for a few more minutes. Now we did step one. Now let's do the binding section. So that's a 1 inch by 4 1/8 mat. Remember, our mats are the pink. So it's 1 inch by 4 1/8. Make sure I got 4 1/8 here. Okay, so we'll do 1 inch. By 4 1/8. Now the mat, or the DSP that goes with it, get a piece of our flower, is 7/8 by 4 inches. So I'm going to do it so my flowers are pointing upward. So we need 7/8 by 4 inches. Let's do 7/8. By 4 inches. Alright, that's already 4 inches. Let's go ahead and marry that piece. Looks so good together, doesn't it? And now that goes on our book binding section up here. Let's go ahead and put it on there. See, if you have all the pieces separated and laying around, it gets kind of confusing to me. First one I did, I had a heck of a time keeping everything straight. So I just decided I'd build it as we go. Okay, now these next two pieces, I'm going to wait till I glue it down, is going to be the front here and the back. This one is going to have a greeting. So let's cut the mats for those. They're the front and back upper section. We need 2 mats that are 4 1/8 by 2. See how big this is. do 4 1/8 by 2. See if we can get a second one out of there. Oh, look at that piece of cake. So you have 2 of them, 4 1/8 by 2. Now one of them's going to get a white mat for the greeting. The other one's going to get the designer series paper, and that's 4 inches by 1 7/8. How wide is this? It is 4 inches. So we're going to do 1 7/8. We're going to attach it to one of the mats. And now that mat, this mat, is going to go on the front, so kind of watch the direction of your design. I want these so my flowers are pointing upward. I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. There's a little glue on me. Alright, so let's put that mat on. I have to get something like the glue off me. So that one's in place. Let me get a baby wipe. And now this next mat that goes on the top, we're going to use white paper because we're going to do a greeting. So see how big this one is, this white scrap. And we said it needed to be 4 inches by 1 7/8. So let's see how big this is. Oh, look at that, 4 inches. Let's do 1 7/8. And before I marry that, I probably want to put my greeting on. And the greeting I used is from the same set, the Pansies, and I'm going to use wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. Let's go ahead and put that greeting on. And our stamparatus in. Still got a little glue on my fingers here. Good stuff. So let's go ahead and do our greeting. The only reason I do the greeting, you know, before I put it on the mat, what if you mess up the greeting? You can always just flip it over and you have nothing lost. But if it's already on the mat, you gotta start over. Let's just put that about right there. And then our memento. Look at that. Okay. Now we'll marry it to that piece. Okay, now this one, set this aside. This one goes to the inside panel here. And we're not putting anything in this little panel here, this tiny one, because that's going to be your book binding. You're going to be sealing that up. So remember, the greeting when it opens is going to be toward the point, so put it right side up. Okay. Now, before we bind our book binding, let's add some ribbon. And for the ribbon, there's a combo pack, the cotton ribbon combo pack, and this has got a petal pink in it that seems to match perfectly. So what I want to do is I'm going to just wrap a piece of that around there. Matter of fact, I'm just going to get a piece of tape. Take a little piece of tape here. Hopefully I didn't twist that. I'll check it in a minute. You know what I didn't even bring over? Scissors. Alright, we'll use these. Okay, these are horrible scissors. Let's try this again. So we're going to take our piece of ribbon, we're going to wrap it around. You can leave it just like that, or you can tie a knot, or you can do like I'm going to do is I'm going to glue dot a bow on there. But what I want to do is glue that mat down. I would use a really good adhesive right here. So we're going to glue it down to the card base. I guess while that's drying, I can attach my little bow. I made a bow off screen so you didn't have to see how hard I struggle to make a bow sometimes. I have a little bow being attacked by my glue. I have a little bow maker my husband made me, and I just got lazy and didn't go find it. Bow, and put glue down on it. Oh, I don't think I picked up the glue dot. Well, duh. There. Oh, stuck it. There we go. Now we'll glue it. Our little bow on there. Kind of smushed the little guy. You get the gist. Let me get scissors that'll actually cut. I'm just going to put a little angle there. Okay, and it seems our book binding is still trying to glue down. Make sure that stays down. So I'm going to set something on it real quick while we work on some more parts. So, got our book binding and our two top sections done. Let's do okay, that's so like I said, you can stamp your greeting prior on the one. Now we need our diamond panels, and those are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. We're going to do that with our pink mat. This will be 2 7/8. 2 7/8. Need 2 of those. Those are the mat. Now we need the DSP, And for the DSP of this one, I got this really cool kind of wood grain from the Hearth and Home DSP. I just really liked it, so that's what we're using. So for the mat on your diamonds, the DSP is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. So let's go 1 7/8. Oh, you know what? I think I did that wrong. I might have it marked wrong. Oh, did I do one? I think these are too small. I think I did the diamonds wrong. Hold on. I did. Did I do these 2 by 2? Oh. 2 and 7. Oh, I was looking at the wrong measurement. Bad, my bad. Okay, for the diamond panel. So these need to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Wow, scared myself there a minute. There's our 2 3/4. 2 3/4. These are main diamond panels. Okay. So let's marry those. It's a really thin kind of mat, but I like it. And by using this wood grain, it kind of gives your focal image a little more not so busy with the regular floral DSP. Okay, so we've got our 2 main large diamonds. Now your first one is going to go right on the diamond here. You're only going to put glue on the diamond, and you'll still have a little bit of a mat there. So basically, and we have a runner. So basically, let's go ahead and put glue on there. Your corner of your diamond is going to go to the fold. Okay? So let's just put a little bit of glue on here. I'm going to do mine with the wood grain going sideways. So I think if it's going this way, it looks a little busy. So let's do it going sideways. So I'm going to attach that. And if you put your corners right on the score marks, lines up perfectly. And look at that, you're already halfway through. See there? Got your top of your easel done. Okay. So now, oops, I moved it. Before you play with it, make sure glue dries. Just saying. Thank God I used glue and I can move this around back where it belongs. There we go. Alright, I'll leave it alone. Okay, so this mat is going to go right below on the inside. Okay, it's going to go on the inside, and it's actually going to match up to where it doesn't show when the card is closed. So I'll show you how to do that. Make sure that's dry before I keep messing around there. Okay, so what I do is I put my glue on here. And I'm going to take my diamond, lift it up, and with the DSP piece matching up, you know, the way I want my diamond to go, matching up with this diamond like that, and then I'm going to lay it down. That way, when you lift up, your diamond is perfectly placed and hidden when this one's down. See there? Now let's work on our baby diamonds. We need the 4 triangles that go in there. So we need 2 by 2 mat. So let's go 2 inches. You need 2 of them. You need 2 by 2. 1, 2. Okay. Now what you want to do is take the corner of them, set it like a triangle in your cutter, line up the corner in the groove of your cutter, oops, my finger has sticky in it. Close this down gently and cut, and you have your 2 triangles. Okay, we're going to do that again. Get my hands to do what I want them to do. Do it again, close it gently, and there's our 4 diamonds. Now we need to do the same thing with the designer paper. So we'll take a piece of our designer paper, and these little triangles are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Okay. Let's go, let's see. How do I want this? Do it this way. So 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And don't forget, you need 2 of them. Let's see if this one meets. Oh, that one's going to work. 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And now you're going to do the exact same thing you did for the mat. You're going to cut your diagonals. One. 2. See there? Now you'll marry them to your corners or your triangle. You could even use the back side of your DSP if you wanted. Could have done that instead of the wood grain also. You can just use the same designer paper. I'm probably going to have to move my cutter out of my way. So I use glue so that I can line those up, side to side. Let me scooch all this off. My cutter out of the way. Oh look, this one's even got a little bumblebee on it. I'll have to figure out which corner I want him to go in. That came out lucky. Uh-oh, that didn't belong anywhere. Oops. Keep dropping things. And I have to be quick because my baby girl sleeps under the desk and her big old wet nose sniffs everything. So the hardest part is just cutting and matching everything up. The card itself goes together quite quickly. Okay, so now we're going to open our card and we're going to place our diamonds. I'm going to fold that back. I really like this little bumblebee. Let me see where I want to. I think I'm going to put him up here. And then he'll look like he's flying. And you're just going to evenly space them. Seriously, a lot of blue on it. So you're just going to evenly space them around your diamond. One more. And then you need one more step and you're done. You have to create the greeting that holds up your easel. So what do we want to use? Let's stick with the same stamp set. And let's do the I like this love you much. So I'm going to stamp that on a piece of, do I have a scratch? I do. On a piece of the Blushing Bride. I'm going to give myself plenty of room because I want to use a die cut to cut it out. Just going to get the memento. A little darker, I think. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to go use the Stitched So Sweetly. I'll have all the supplies I used today below on the blog. I'm going to cut that out real quick. So I used the Stitch So Sweetly die to do this adorable little, it's got stitching and scallops. It's just really cute. Okay, let me wipe off your stamp. And now what I want to do is kind of figure out where I want my easel to stand out. So it's, I'm going to say I'm going to go right on that, about that third line there, I think. That'll sit up nicely. this you must attach with dimensionals, and that way it gives your easel something to actually stand up on. I like to have plenty of dimensionals on it. Let's place this. Let's place it about right there. And there's your easel. See there? Now let's add some flowers. So remember earlier I told you I cut out a couple pansies out of the DSP? Well, let's put them together. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe I'll... Maybe I'll take a little bit of glue there. Or you can use a glue dot. And attach those. If you want, you could use, here, I'll show you a trick. Take one of your foam mats. You got your two flowers here. Take one of your foam mats and a closed end of take your pick and kind of go over the middle in a rotisserie motion of these flowers. And it'll kind of curl them up a little. Give them a little dimension and shape. It's optional. You know, most people probably aren't going to notice. Let's see how it kind of gives them a little bit of dimension. Okay. Let's hook these little guys on. Probably use some glue dots. Let's see, how do I want this? I think I'm going to add a couple glue dots here. Flowers on there. I die cut a couple of leaves. Oops. Another runner. Early, I can't hold on to anything. I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of this one. And then I'm just going to tuck it under here. Glue it down. Same thing here. Put this one under here. And glue it down. Of course, we need some of these adorable brass butterflies. I just love them. Let's add a butterfly or two. So I'm going to put a butterfly in there. I'm going to put one of the smaller ones over here. Look at that. How cute is that? What else could we do to bling this up? Maybe some blingy centers on our flowers. Why don't we use... Let's see, what do we got we could use? Ooh, look at these. Maybe these too much, maybe? I don't think so. Can't have too much. These are, what are they? Just see the name of them. I didn't see, I just got them, so I haven't opened them. Oh, they're the iridescent rhinestones. Grab a couple iridescent rhinestones here. Put a little one there. And a little bit bigger one. And get it off. A little bit bigger one on there. And voila, you are done. You have your pop-up easel card. When they open it, they got a greeting. They flip it over, they have a greeting. You could do this smaller and write your greeting there. But that is a book binding diamond easel card. I've typed up all the instructions for you and included a PDF. I'll also include all the supplies I used to make this particular card. Big shout out to the woman that I actually saw the card. I wish I could have linked to you and found you and gave you a case credit. But thank you very much. Have a very happy stamping day. Stay safe out there.